Hello all and welcome to this week's VLCeed. I hope you had an amazing weekend. More than that, I hope you made it amazing through your outstanding mindset. As you know, maybe not all of you, but most of you know that I spent the latter half of Friday in the car and at the IBC. I would love to say that it went really smoothly, but it didn't. I ended up waiting far longer than I should have, even though the mistakes were on their end, not ours. Now, it did give me some time to think. And anytime I get time to think, I pretty much always come up with something of value from a situation. Now that is my mindset for sure, but it's also persistence. As a matter of fact, that is our, if you didn't realize it, that is our topic for today. I persist in learning. I persist in learning. I figure if I stop learning, then I'm going to stop growing. And one of the 5 keys to changing successfully that we have been discussing is persistence. Now, at first, it kind of seems counterintuitive. How does persistence allow you to change? Doesn't persistence mean that you persist in your original direction, avoiding change? Well, yes and no. I've had many mentors tell me that you should fall in love with your end goal, but not necessarily your plan. That means that your goal stays the same, but your plan may change midstream. In other words, you persistently pursue that end goal, but if a certain plan is not working, you come up with a new plan to reach the same goal. Now, one of the big ideas that VLC has embraced is this idea of simplifying. In case you haven't figured it out yet, Barry is passionate about this and will absolutely persist in this idea for good reason. Okay, he's not going to deviate. Luckily for us, there are many paths to simplification. That part is really up to us. And as I dealt with the IBC on Friday, I held the question in my mind, how do we make this process more simple? Now, there is one rule that I need to share with you about being successful with persistence. Your persistence must focus on an area of your control. Do we have control over the DMV? No. Do we have influence at the DMV? I'm going to say no. I know some might disagree with me. I'm going to say no. And so what I believe is we need to focus our persistence in the one area that we do have control over, and that is our own process, under our own roof. That's where our persistence must be focused, with this idea of simplification. And if we can persist in achieving this goal, I guarantee you that it will make working at VLC more fun and less stressful. All from persistence. Now, here are some questions for you. Have you ever persisted in an area where you had no control or very little influence? What were the emotions that you felt during that experience, and were you successful? And there's other questions that go along with that, but have you ever given in too easily when you should have persisted? Now, think of some other areas that you have goals. Consider the paths to those goals. You have complete or almost complete control over. What specific actions can you persist in along those paths, of control or great influence that can lead to your success? Now, this idea of persistence, it's a deep subject, so I really hope you give it some thought. Because persistence is it's a close cousin to motivation. So it's definitely worth our time. Okay? I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.